Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the rescheduled meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Tuesday, July the 16th, 2024. This meeting is being held on Tuesday, July the 16th. It was originally scheduled to be held on Monday, July the 8th, but due to inclement weather with the tropical storm that we had last week, our council meeting was postponed until tonight, so that's why we're meeting today on Tuesday, July the 16th, 2024. I'd like to welcome everyone in the audience this evening who's joining us, as well as those who may be joining online. And at this time, I'll call on our City Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Ms. Hart? Here. Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Metter?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here.
All right, very good. And so at this time, our invocation and pledge will be led by Councilmember Jay Davis. If everyone will please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, just thank you for the many blessings that you have for Texarkana, and just ask that you continue to do so. And Lord, just be with our nation right now as we go through this election process, and just allow us to keep cool heads. And Lord, just be with those that protect us, and just give us the wisdom to be able to do the city's business tonight. Ask these things in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance.
May be seated. At this time, we'll have our recognition of Ward 3 Councilmember-elect Steve Thompson. As you know, we have a vacancy, or had a vacancy on our council due to the passing of Councilmember Betty Williams back in May. And so Steve Thompson did register to sign up to become a council member for Ward 3. And so Steve is going to come forward this evening, and I just wanted to share a little bit of information with you this evening about Steve, and he also has some comments to make as well. And he will be sworn in as the council member for Ward 3 at our August 12th council meeting. And so Steve Thompson is a native from Plainview. He started his career as a landman in the oil and gas business in 1982, and soon after graduation from Texas Tech University. After starting a family, Steve transitioned into title insurance, mainly to avoid all the traveling he had been doing. And that move turned out to be one of the best decisions in his life because, as it turned out, he possessed a natural talent for it. Known for his extensive knowledge of the industry and recognized for his truly outstanding customer service, Steve feels that he's at his best when resolving difficult situations that could become obstacles to getting the deal done. And he views himself as more of a problem solver than anything, and works closely with closers to help them foresee and remedy any issues that might arise during a transaction. Steve is recognized for his infectiously positive attitude and his charismatic personality and his love of life. He greets everyone with a broad smile and is genuinely pleased to see you. And Steve says that he absolutely loves to get up in the morning and looks forward to whatever the day may bring. Steve has a son and a daughter. He also has with him this evening his wife, Lisa. And so, Steve, we want to thank you for your interest in serving on the Texarkana, Texas City Council, and your large bottle of extra strength Tylenol is on the way to you. And,
thank you very much.
At this time, we will make sure you get off to a good start.
Is that a benefit that we all receive here?
That's exactly right. We don't share that until after someone has been chosen. That's right. So,
well, I have already received a couple of phone calls, even though I'm not sworn in yet.
Okay. All right. So anyway, but I'll just go ahead and turn the mic over to you to provide any remarks that you would like to make. And I know you live in the Highland Park area and have served on our Historic Commission as well as other venues within the city. So I just want to welcome you and Lisa this evening, and just turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. And yes, I have served on the Historical Commission, which I will be resigning from for conflict of interest reasons. I also serve on the Main Street Board in Randy Sam's and Crime Stoppers. So I look forward to continuing in those roles. Hopefully there won't be any conflicts arise too much. I can abstain, obviously, if I have to, from any votes that pertain to city issues, whatever. Really, the only thing that I have to say, I'm looking forward to getting involved here. This is not something that I had ever thought about doing. It presented itself, the opportunity presented itself, and Lisa and I talked about it, and we thought we can do this. And we look forward to it. The one thing that really has come to light since I've began investigating the opportunity here is that I've got some really big shoes to fill in Ms. Williams. I think the more I learn about her, the more I respect the work that she did. And so I look forward in learning how to be a good councilman and filling her shoes. In fact, I call them filling her boots. They're more than shoes, I think. So I look forward to getting started, getting sworn in on August 12th at the next meeting, and getting started. Anybody have any questions for me? Hopefully not. I'm not ready.
All right. Any comments from the council that would like to be made this evening as far as welcoming comments?
Just welcome aboard, and Steve and I have had the opportunity to work with each other on some of the home loans that I've done in the past, and look forward to working with you on council moving forward.
Thank you. I look forward to that as well.
Okay, Steve. All right. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right. Appreciate your time this evening.
Thanks.
In reference to, we'll move along now to Mayor's remarks and items of community interest. As I begin those, as a reminder, we'll revert back beginning next month to our 2 council meetings per month, and they will be held on Monday, August the 12th, as well as Monday, August the 26th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. We've had a lot of very big events that have taken place since we had our last council meeting. On June the 28th, we had the dedication of our new airport terminal. And if you have not been out there to see the new airport, I encourage you to go out and take a look at it. It is a beautiful, beautiful facility. And I want to commend Paul Merlick and the Airport Authority Board for the great work as far as getting that done. And so it's just a true gem now in our community. As I mentioned several times, when someone comes to Texarkana for the first time, if they're flying in to our city, oftentimes an airport is the first impression of that community. And by having a beautiful brand new airport, that is certainly going to be a welcoming, fresh first impression to those who may be traveling here from other destinations. So that was held on June the 15th. We had the annual Juneteenth celebration. That was held downtown on Front Street on the Arkansas side. And so Mayor Brown and I were there to provide remarks, and there was a very, very large turnout for that. I think the crowd was significantly larger than last year, and last year there was a very good crowd there for that event as well. But it seemed like everyone was in a very good spirit. There were a lot of vendors there, food vendors, as well as those selling merchandise. It was a little bit warm out there. Of course, it's summertime. We kind of expect that. And so for those who participated, as well as those who helped to put on that event, I know our Scholars Program is very involved in getting that done, so I want to thank everyone who did that. Also, we had this afternoon, we had the ribbon cutting for the new Christus St. Michael Standalone Emergency Center that's located on Gibson Lane near the roundabout. And so there was a very, very large turnout for that event. That is a $17 million facility. They will have 12 examination rooms there, and will be open for the public 24/7. And so we look forward to having another ER in our community to serve both the citizens locally here in Texarkana, or those who may be driving in from surrounding areas to seek health care, whether it's on a routine basis or whether it's on an emergency basis. And so we had a very, very good event out there at the Christus St. Michael Standalone ER. Also, as you all know, due to the storm we had last week, our council meeting was postponed until this evening. We did have a part of our community in our city, the Beverly community, that part of that community received some pretty extensive damage due to high winds. A lot of trees were down, power lines were down in probably a 5 to 6 block square area. There's been a assistance program set up at the Beverly Center, and that's open daily for those who may have been impacted by the severe storm, and so they can go there for meals each day. Last week, Councilmember Hart and I went over to the Beverly Center to check on how things were going over there. Beverly is divided into Ward 1 and Ward 2, so the damage that was sustained was primarily sustained to the part of the Ward 2 area, and so that was attended by that. I know that Ms. Matlock would have been there as well. She was on vacation, and so we certainly understand that. So, but she also was keeping in touch with us as far as getting updates on what all was going, so I appreciate that very much. So I want to thank Councilmember Hart for going with me over there to check on the situation. And I did receive some back communication from citizens as well as business owners in that immediate area. They provided very, very high regards to our police department, our fire department, as well as to our Public Works Department. I want to thank AEP SWEPCO for the work that was done there. I understand the main distribution lines are back up. There may be some individual houses that will have to have meter loops reset. That's the responsibility of the property owner, and so as soon as that's done, that they can have service hooked back up. Dr. Orr will have some additional comments and specific information pertaining to this storm damage in the Beverly community later on in our meeting this evening when we get to that part of the agenda. And so just want to thank our city employees for working above and beyond the call of duty to get service restored there. There were quite a few trees that were blocking streets and alleys and things like that, and so I want to appreciate everyone's great help in getting that done. Also, we have in the audience this evening a longtime Texarkana Gazette reporter, Carl Richter. And Carl, you have a new reporter with you this evening, and would you mind just coming up maybe to the podium and introduce our new reporter with the Texarkana Gazette?
Yeah, this is Austin Litteral. He's comes to us from Oklahoma. He's going to be covering a combination of sports and government for us. So lots of different sort of game playing going on, I guess.
Okay.
Would you like to say anything else?
Austin, you'd like to share something with us? Yeah.
Looking forward to covering you guys, I guess. I'm happy to be here. Can't kind of wait to tell the stories of the government.
Okay, well, I'll see you at City Hall, and I may see you on the baseball field
Yes.
as an umpire too, all right? So, all right, we want to welcome you to our community, and best of luck to you with your work at the Gazette. Okay. All right, at this time, we will move along to our open forum from the comments. If there's anyone in the audience this evening who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. You will have up to 5 minutes to speak on any topic. However, if you're here this evening and you're wanting to speak in reference to one of our public hearing items, then I'll ask that you'll please wait until we get to that particular public hearing item, and then we'd be more than happy to listen to your comments. We also encourage you to fill out one of these yellow sheets that can be found on the rack there by the back door, or the entry doors into the council chambers. And so we do have a form that has been filled out this evening by Mr. Cliff Robertson, a resident of Texarkana, Texas, and he would like to address the council in reference to the Beverly community. So, Mr. Robertson, if you'll please come forward and stand behind the podium, and if you will, please state your name for the record, and welcome to our council meeting this evening.
Cliff Robertson. Well, you stole some of my thunder, but not all of it. My concern, Becky and I's concern about Beverly is she grew up there, and in the early 60s when we got married, that's a long time ago, it was a nice neighborhood. There was modest 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes, and that's all degraded since then, mostly over time, but they've become a lot of tenant homes. And what bothers me when I went by there after this storm, last week I didn't see any power trucks in the 2 or 3 times we went by there. I called about one specifically at 507 Jerome, which is across the street from where she grew up. And SWEPCO told me that the property owner had to clear the 36-inch trees off her own lot before they could work on it. So we have gridlock here with SWEPCO as far as I'm concerned, because who's going to do it? She doesn't have the money. I know there's going to be quite an expense. So somebody, I don't know who's going to be doing something about that. And I think there's 19 homes that still don't have power. It's really nice in here. I'm also concerned that maybe some of these are Section 8 homes, so the owner has a duty to do something about these trees, and I wondered if they've been contacted to do something about it. Part of the thing of driving through the neighborhood is that I was sort of shocked, hadn't been over there in a while. These trees just exacerbated the appearance of the neighborhood. The optics are terrible. The city has, I don't think it was a mistake particularly, they didn't know how it was going to turn out, but they have donated the alleyways back to the citizens. They're not kept up at all. You couldn't drive through them if you wanted to. And I thought, well, in the fall when all this, and there's a lot of grass on a lot of vacant lots with grass on them. There's a lot of homes that are not inhabited, they need to be torn down. So the optics of it is terrible. And if we had a fire in the fall when everything's dried out, it could be catastrophic because you got these alleyways that would just spread this fire. And I don't know why you couldn't use eminent domain. I've talked to somebody about this. I'm not going to say who that's with the housing authority. But couldn't you use eminent domain to take over some of these houses and pay some minimal price for the property and take the house down? And my last comment will be, how many homes did we raise in Beverly last year? How many homes did we tear down last year?
Staff may have that, or they can get that.
I saw 20 or 30 that need to be torn down, and I think they've been there for a while. I'm not offering any solutions for these problems. I'm just pointing out some things that I think we've neglected that neighborhood, and this storm just pointed it out to me how bad things have gotten. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Appreciate your attendance this evening. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, very good. At this time, move along to our appointments to boards and commissions and committees. Do we have any appointments or reappointments to be made this evening by the council?
I have one.
Councilmember Metter?
I have a reappointment for the Historical Landmark Preservation, Lauren Calloway.
Lauren Calloway, reappointment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Are there any others this evening? I do have two that are my mayoral appointments. I would like to reappoint David Potter and David Baumgardner to the Airport Authority Board. Thank them for their service. Are there any others this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Councilmember Hart, second by Councilmember Matlock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. All right, those have been approved. So I want to thank those citizens who are willing to be reappointed to these very important boards and commissions in our community. At this time, move along to items for consideration. We do have 10 items on the consent agenda this evening. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the joint meeting of the Budget Advisory Committee and City Council held on May 28, 2024 at 11 a.m. Item 2 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on June the 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Item 3, resolution number 2024-075, authorizing the city manager to renew an interlocal agreement with Liberty Ilo ISD for fire protection services for campuses located outside the city. Item number 4, order number 2024-076, calling the city's November 5th, 2024 general election for the purpose of electing a mayor, a council member for Ward 1, and a council member for Ward 2. Item number 5, ordinance number 2024-078, approving the cancellation of the July 30th, 2024 special election for a council member for Ward 3 as the lone candidate was unopposed. Item number 6, resolution number 2024-079, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with RK Hall Incorporated of Paris, Texas, for an amount not to exceed $2,530,684.15 for the Kennedy Lane and West Lawn Drive street reconstruction project, with funds budgeted in the 2022 Bond Fund, Fund 425. Item number 7, resolution number 2024-080, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract for the Grady T. Wallace 10-inch sewer relocation project in an amount not to exceed $134,581.69. Funds are available in the Utilities 2023-2024 budget in the Texas Capital Improvement Fund. Item number 8, resolution number 2024-081, authorizing the city manager to approve the purchase of lighting upgrades at the Texarkana Convention Center for lighting controls, cove lighting, and circuit rewiring using Holistic Utility Solutions, TIPS 23010402, in the amount of $60,361, with funds available in the Hotel Occupancy Tax Fund, Fund number 212. Item number 9, resolution number 2024-082, authorizing the city manager to execute contracts for the purchase of chemicals for water and wastewater treatment. Funds are available in the Utilities 2024-2025 budget in the department's operating fund. Item number 10, ordinance number 2024-087, amending the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023 and ending September 30th, 2024 to appropriate additional expenditures of $850,000 in the Hotel Occupancy Tax Fund, Fund 212, for the construction project at Swanger Complex located at Spring Lake Park for a total commitment of $1,050,000 for this project from the Hotel Occupancy Tax Fund, Fund number 212. Unless a council member would like to pull one or additional items for further consideration, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion passes unanimously. The consent agenda has been approved. We'll now move along to our action items this evening. Item number 11 is resolution number 2024-083. Resolution number 2024-060, supporting the city's application to the Texas Historical Commission to become a certified local government. And just council as a reminder, a staff member, Daphne Ryan, provided a first briefing on this item, or a briefing of this item at our last meeting. And so unless there are any further questions, I will entertain a motion for approval of the resolution.
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Matlock. This is a resolution, so there is not a caption. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Moving along to item number 12, resolution number 2024-083, authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, between the Texarkana Regional Airport, Texarkana College, and cities of Texarkana, Texas, and Arkansas for an air show event in 2026. And our city manager, Dr. David Orr, will provide some additional remarks relating to this item. Dr. Orr?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just for your consideration tonight, this MOU will establish responsibilities between the airport, between Texarkana College and both cities for a future air show to be held in 2026. The City of Texarkana, Texas responsibilities include to collaborate with the team in presenting the air show, to assist with fundraising activities, to secure necessary funds for the air show, and to secure liability insurance and name the vendor as an additionally insured. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have about the MOU.
Any questions for Dr. Orr on this matter? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the resolution. Is there a motion? We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Item 13 is resolution number 2024-085, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract amendment with Symmetry Sports Construction for construction at the soccer complex located at Grady T. Wallace Park for an additional amount of $224,972 with removal of the previous contingency allocation of $150,000 for a total contract amount of $3,274,594 and a net cost increase of $74,972 after removal of contingency with funds budgeted in the 2023 bond fund, Fund Number 426, and the general fund, Fund 101. And Dr. Orr will once again provide additional remarks. Dr. Orr?
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. So the Council recently approved this contract with Symmetry Sports Construction for the construction of a soccer complex located at Grady T. Wallace Park through Resolution 2024-024 for a contract amount of $3,049,622 with an additional $150,000 allocated for contingency. After completion of the final estimates and with the bids, subcontractor bids in hand, an amendment to the contract is needed in the amount of $224,972 with the removal of the previous contingency for a total contract amount of $3,274,594. That's an overall total cost increase of $74,972 after removal of the contingency. With this removal of the contingency, I want to remind you that any change orders will come before the council. That's typically what we budget for with the contingency funds, and so with that removal, any change orders will come before the council, but hopefully we will not have any. So with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions for Dr. Orr relating to this particular item? Oh, okay. If not, thank you, David. If not, is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Resolution passes. Item 14 is resolution number 2024-086, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract amendment with Symmetry Sports Construction for construction at the Swanger Complex located at Spring Lake Park for an additional amount of $1,411,060 with removal of the previous contingency allocation of $395,000 for a total contract amount of $9,295,770 and a net cost increase of $1,016,060 after removal of contingency with funds budgeted in the 2023 bond fund, Fund 426, and the hotel occupancy tax fund, Fund 212. David?
All right, so similar to the last item, Council approved the contract with Symmetry Sports for the construction of the Swanger Complex located at Spring Lake Park for Resolution 2024-025. That contract amount was $7,884,710 with an additional $395,000 allocated for contingency. After the final estimates were received, an amendment for the contract is needed in the amount of $1,411,060 with removal of the contingency. So the total contract amount, $9,295,770, and that total cost increase, as you stated, is $1,016,060. You may recall that during the previous budget workshop, we discussed this with Budget Advisory Committee, and Budget Advisory Committee's recommendation was to increase the hotel occupancy tax budget for a one-time expense to cover $1,050,000, and that $1,050,000 will go to the anticipated concession, restroom, and entryway renovations for Swanger Complex. So we'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for David on this matter? Okay, thank you. If not, is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Page. Was that Councilmember Davis with
Yes,
a
sir.
second? Councilmember Davis has seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. This concludes our action items. We'll now move along to first briefings. We only have one first briefing item this evening. It's item 1, resolution number 2024-084, authorizing the city manager to accept a donation of approximately 17 acres of land in the Falvey Industrial Park from the Texarkana, USA Chamber of Commerce for economic development purposes. And we will have a vote on this particular item at our next council meeting that'll be held on August the 12th. David, information about this item, please.
All right, so this item is for consideration of approximately 17 acres of the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce property that's owned in Falvey Industrial Park for future business development. City staff has been working to budget this site to become shovel-ready, and the Chamber's Business Readiness Committee saw it fit to donate the property due to the city's capacity to make it shovel-ready. Staff ordered and received and completed an environmental and cultural study, which had no findings. This property will also be marketed by our future to-be-formed Economic Development Commission as part of this year's budget recommendations. With that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for David on this matter? Okay, thanks for the briefing, David. We'll now move along to our public hearings. We do have 5 public hearings scheduled this evening. Item 1 is resolution number 2024-066, adopting the Community Development Block Grant 2024 Fiscal Year Annual Action Plan and authorizing the city manager to submit said action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution? We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2024-067, revoking specific use permit S-586 for an off-premises outdoor advertising billboard on Lot 1, Arklatex Realty subdivision located in the 4600 block of Gus Orr Drive, formerly 4610 St. Michael Drive. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. Once again, not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, revoking specific use permit number S-586 that permitted the location of an off-premises outdoor advertising billboard on Lot 1, Arklatex Realty subdivision, located at 4610 St. Michael Drive, Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Moving along to item number 3, ordinance number 2024-068, granting a specific use permit to allow an off-premise outdoor billboard on Lot 1B, replat lots 1 and 2, Arklatex Realty subdivision, located in the 4600 block of Gus Orr Drive. Keith Orr, owner, and Kayla Wood, MTG Engineers and Surveyors, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Matlock, seconded by Councilmember Davis. All right, Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-789 for the location of an off-premises outdoor advertising billboard on Lot 1B, replat of lots 1 and 2 of Arklatex Realty subdivision located in the 4600 block of Gus Orr Drive in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. In reference to our public hearings, items 4 and 5 are related. Item number 4 is ordinance number 2024-069, rezoning from single-family 2 to single-family 3 on the east half of Lot 1, Block 40, Flower Acres Addition, located at 2802 Flower Acre Road. Greg Fomby, owner. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council on this item, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Page. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning the east one-half lot of Lot 1, Block 40, Flower Acres Addition, located at 2802 Flower Acre Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from single-family 2 to single-family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. So item 4 was relating to the rezoning. Item 5 will relate to a specific use permit for the same location. Item 5, ordinance number 2024-070, granting a specific use permit to allow a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on the east half of Lot 1, Block 40, Flower Acres Addition, located at 2802 Flower Acre Road. Greg Fomby, owner. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council on this item, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-790 to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on the east half of Lot 1, Block 40, Flower Acres Addition, located at 2802 Flower Acre Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passed unanimously. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. Just a quick update on a couple of items, starting off with the storm recovery, as was discussed earlier. So multiple departments and crews have been working alongside utility crews to clean up the storm damage from last Monday's storm. Just want to thank all of our city crews that have put in long hours, 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day to get our community back up and running. There was damage to trees and homes across our city, with the most significant damage occurring in the Beverly neighborhood. The city and the Believe in Beverly Neighborhood Association are coordinating donations at the Beverly Community Center that's located at 901 Lumpkin Street, Texarkana, Texas. To volunteer or to donate supplies, you can stop by the community center from 11 to 6 p.m. or contact the Believe in Beverly Neighborhood Association President, Christy Kendrick. Got her contact information on the screen as well as an email. You can also contact Bashil Fernandez with the city. I've got his contact as well. Just again, want to thank our team, and it's been a multi-team approach from public safety to public works to our planning department, and a number of staff members that have been out. A couple of updates as well on the front of the storm. So the city will send out a notice tomorrow as we start to recover now from the storm, that we have a lot of permit fees that are coming in, requests for permits, and so the city will be waiving permit fees for all mechanical repair permits related to the storm in the Beverly neighborhood. This is due to both the state and federal disaster declarations from FEMA. Also understand that FEMA will be here tomorrow with Chief Black touring the area. While permits and inspections are still required, we need to make sure and stress that the fees for essential repairs such as electrical, plumbing, HVAC, that are crucial to restoring power will all be waived. For more information on that, you can contact the Development Services Department at 903-798-3535. And also to apply for a permit, you can call the office or go online to MyGov TXK. As you mentioned, Mayor, SWEPCO update, all mainline power has been restored in the area. There's approximately, this is from SWEPCO, 10 to 20 homes that are waiting repairs for the power service lines to be reconnected. And so what staff is starting to do now is looking at those homes on a case-by-case basis in terms of what is needed to restore power in the area. We're working with church organizations and groups. I've had a number of calls and folks that are interested in volunteering and helping. We've had some groups initially after the storm damage that they travel the country and they do this sort of thing to help private property owners, and so we're making those connections and working with SWEPCO through that effort. We do have some Texas Municipal League claims that are pending because some of these trees were in the right-of-way, and so they are our responsibility that fell on private property. So we're working through those claims as well, again, on a case-by-case basis. One other thing to note that the city is doing, so most of the roadways are now clear, and so kind of our next effort, again, is kind of shifting to private property owners. And so, as you know, the city cannot access private property. However, we are encouraging the neighborhood to place limbs, debris, other things at the curb, and the city will go through and do regular pickups with Public Works crews. So it has to be placed at the curb or in the right-of-way for the city to be able to do that. And I just want to stress, I've been out, I've visited with neighbors in the area, and this is something that's going to take not just weeks, but months. And so in terms of our commitment to the area, we've been there from the beginning. We'll continue to have our crews there, and we'll work with nonprofit organizations and churches and others until everything is cleaned up and restored. But I just want to make sure in terms of expectations that this will be a long process. Those of you that have been to the neighborhood and seen it, for much part of last week, you couldn't walk through the neighborhood because of the power lines that were down and the poles that were snapped in half. And so, but I can tell you, and you mentioned this, Mayor, earlier, I just can't say enough about our staff because time after time I've received calls and texts and pictures from residents in the area thanking me for a staff member that has been out there, you know, from 8 a.m. till they were left for work. And they've brought them water, they've done all kinds of stuff just to kind of show their support for our staff. So I appreciate the residents as well in the neighborhood. So that's the update that I have on that.
Okay, well, thank you very much, David. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not in reference to the storm restoration effort in Beverly. I want to thank all of the groups, all of the churches, individual families or organizations or civic groups in our community who have made contributions, whether it be by way of monetary contributions or actual products that have been provided for this recovery effort. All of those contributions are greatly appreciated. I did notice that Christy Kendrick, who is the president of the Believe in Beverly Neighborhood Association, has joined our council meeting this evening. So Ms. Kendrick, in reference to on the foothills of, following in on the heels of Dr. Orr and his report, is there any information that you need to share with the council this evening or the community as far as the ongoing effort? If so, Ms. Evans can provide you with a microphone, and we want to welcome you to our meeting. We want to thank you for all the great work that your organization is doing, spearheading this recovery effort at the Beverly Center, and would enjoy listening to any information that you would like to share with us this evening.
First of all, I would like to thank you all and thank the residents of Texarkana, Texas. They have really stepped up and shown their presence. Although we have some work that has been done, we still have a lot of work that still needs to be done. We have residents still that are without power. I even experienced several residents that are living in abandoned homes and living in tents, which is surprising to me. Some of the devastation was prior to the actual hurricane, but we're trying our best to do what we can to help everybody. We have been open from Sunday to Saturday, trying to serve the community how in whatever capacity that we can. We have done feedings every day. We have provided clothing, some bedding, and whatever else that the community needs. And we need them to know that the Beverly Community Center will always be there for them. We are also willing to be open as a hub for FEMA or whatever government agency that they need to use to contact. We will set up our computer labs where the residents can come in and sign up for whatever help that they may need. Once again, the Beverly Community Center will always be there as a beacon of light for our community and for the city of Texarkana as a whole.
And one quick question that I have, Christy, so, and Mr. Richter might be able to help communicate this through newsprint, but so if there's an individual or a family or an organization or say a church group
Yes.
that would like to make a contribution, you know, I know monetary contributions are greatly appreciated, but if they're wanting to provide some type of supplies, what exactly are you all needing in this effort?
At this present time, we're needing manpower. We're needing people to come out and help and support in cleaning up the area. Although the trees, we've had several companies and organizations that have come out to help cut down the trees, they still need to be removed. And that is a problem with a lot of people. These people that are in these homes are not the homeowners, they're renters. And so in order for the city to come out, I know that you have to have permission from the homeowner, which are the landlords, and sometimes it's hard to come by. So we're needing people that will come out and bring their shovels, bring your rakes, bring your trailers, whatever you can to come out and help remove the debris from these properties. These people need help.
Okay, all right. Anything else you'd like to share?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, well, once of all, thank you for the association, for the great work that you're doing in helping the community get through this, a very difficult time for those impacted for sure, and we're just very fortunate to have you and your organization helping our citizens who are in need right now.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, all right. At this time, we'll move along to administrative comments. Do we have any comments this evening by the council? Anyone in the council like to make any comments? Okay, very good. And any other comments from city staff this evening?
No further comments, Mayor.
Okay, very good. All right. So unless there's any further business to be brought before the council this evening, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. We have a motion by Councilmember Hart and a second by Councilmember Page. I want to thank all of you all for being with us this evening. We are now adjourned. Hope you have a great evening. Thank you.